Hi everyone, this is my first YouTube video of my yard. My name is Taylor. I live in Zone 9B, which is just west of Houston. So super hot, get lots of rain, and today lots of wind, so hopefully you can hear me. This is my front garden bed. It's got a huge makeover since we first moved in. It used to be all big giant hollies like this, which this one needs a haircut. But you would walk down the front path and get scraped by boxwoods, or not boxwoods, hollies. So I got rid of all of that to open this up so I could put annuals in and lots of color. It's cheerful now and actually inviting. So I have a mix of annuals and perennials. We got a really hard freeze at Christmas, so some things are still just coming back. But of course I have Gerber daisies. I want to say that's verbena, which it needs some water. It'll bloom more. And then creeping Jenny, which literally bounced back from the freeze within days. I have a shrimp plant, which I love. They look like little tiny shrimp. And some stock, which isn't doing that great right now. And I think it's because we water over here with overhead sprinklers, not drip. So I'm going to replace those with something that can take sprinklers because I'm not getting a drip system. We have some jasmine in the pots by the door. When it's in bloom, it smells really great. And then I don't know what these little plants are. I think they're proven winners, but they're just trailing down and they look really pretty. So over here, we can go further over. I have some salvia. I'm not sure of the variety, but I thought they looked like little butterflies. And then some Mexican heather. And then of course my knockout roses. Everyone in Houston has knockout roses, but what I've learned is no one trims them back. So they never get bushy and pretty like this. It's because no one prunes them. But I did, and they look great. And they bloom all season long. And over here, we have some angelonia. We have some more salvia. And then this is pink muley grass, or Gulf muley grass. And it turns pink in late summer, early fall, so it's really pretty. I wanted this to kind of look like a prairie meadow. Lots of textures and colors. Just makes me super happy. And then this is an African daisy coming back, and I'm gonna prune it into a tree once it grows higher up, because I saw someone do that at a nursery and it was super cool. Okay, now I'm gonna take you to the back. I need to shut the gate after us. Little slam. So right here we have our vegetable garden. First I kind of want to show the view from back here. If you want to show us, Chris, my husband, is filming. So before, this view was really sad when we first moved in. I was pregnant and we just didn't have time to get back here until this spring. So this is basically a completely new view. This entire fence was rotten. It was really just all grass, overgrown bamboo, and different bushes that the people put in and didn't take care of, and then a crappy broken hot tub. So I knew I wanted a vegetable garden, which, come to realize, this probably wasn't the best spot. It doesn't get a ton of sun all day long, but it's really good for lettuces and arugula. So they're thriving here. My cabbage is doing great. Something's eating it. I'm not working that hard to keep them off of it. I think I'll get plenty of cabbage out of it. We have some carrots, and we have some marigold, squash. I really have crammed things in here. This is my first year gardening vegetables, so we'll see if I've crammed too much. I'm learning. It's okay. I grew most things from seed. Majority of this came from seed. So it didn't cost me that much if I don't get a lot, but I have been getting a lot of lettuce out of it. Here are my tomato plants that I grew from seed. I'm starting to get some baby tomatoes on there, lots of flowers. I don't know if we can find any. It's pretty bushy. Oh yeah, there's one right here. Two little babies. These are cherry tomatoes. And then right here we have Cherokee purple. So I'm pretty excited about these. These are heirloom, and we love a good heirloom tomato. So a mix of things in here. We have some okra coming up, some basil, some marigold that doesn't look that happy right now. I think I need to water, and onions. I've just sprinkled whatever I can cram in here. Okay, so over here, this is a Carolina jessamine vine, And it's one of the only thing that flowers in the winter here in early spring. So it just went out of bloom, but it usually has really pretty yellow blooms on it. And it doesn't die back in the winter, which is good because we've been getting hard freezes more than our zone actually accounts for. So this is my view from the kitchen window, and eventually it'll get fuller. I need to actually come attach more of these. Much better view than I had before, which was just a rotten fence. We have a strawberry plant here. I picked all the strawberries off of it. And then this is my favorite view right here. We have some things. Gardening is trial and error. So I did plant a couple things here last summer, and some things have come back great and some things haven't. This Texas sage, my other two are getting huge, doing great. This one's not happy, and I found out this soil is waterlogged. So I'm starting to replace these plants with plants that like wet feet. So this is a Louisiana iris. It's a swamp iris. And then another native plant, I can't remember the name, but it's supposed to be good for having wet feet. And then this is the star of the show. It's not in bloom yet, so it's truly not the star yet, but it will be. This is a Rose of Sharon. It's the Proven Winners Purple Pillar variety. This thing is amazing. It gets the most beautiful, giant, plate size purple blooms. Like a hibiscus, they last for a day or two, and then they go out of bloom, and then they create more blooms. But it'll get 8 to 10 feet tall. I cut it down after the freeze a little bit. I trimmed it, and it's doubled in size. I have a smaller one over here. This one is not as happy. Not sure why, but it's living. So this just seems to be a really good spot for this one. I have some lyre rope. It's a pretty common like landscaping plant. Just to add a little touch of border here. And of course some lantana, which goes wild here. I'll have to cut this back probably in a month or so, and it'll just boom back. And then of course the Texas sage, which is getting pretty tall, and I might need to trim it soon, give it more of a shape. And then pumpkin plants. So yeah, I just kind of dabbled those everywhere. They came from a pumpkin we had decorated with for Halloween, and we'll have vines everywhere pretty soon. These are my watermelon plants. I have 2 of them, and I'm actually gonna try to vine them up this trellis to save some space. I've seen people do that. These aren't a super big variety, so I think this will be able to hold it. These are potatoes I literally got from the store, and they started to sprout. I threw them in about a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe now. This is what came from them. So they've gotten huge. And then this really, from the start of this lantana over, this is truly the new part of the garden. Me and my husband started this about 2 months ago. So you'll see I have marigolds that I started from seed. I have some calla lilies, which are going out of bloom right now. They may die all the way back, but I'll leave the tubers or bulbs in there. My salvia, which is right now the star of the show. It's my favorite plant right now. It's so beautiful. This is the Mystic Spire salvia, and it's always covered in big bumblebees and butterflies, so great for pollinator gardens, and it's just so pretty. It looks like lavender. I have some Louisiana iris that's blooming for the first time, and it's just beautiful deep purple blooms. Love that. I have some a Peggy Martin rose, which is a Houston, Louisiana, this area of the world classic. It survived Hurricane Katrina. You can look it up. They have articles all about it. Very hardy rose. And I bought it as a little tiny plant about 2 months ago and put it in the ground, and it has just started to take off. It'll cover this entire trellis or tour, whatever they call it, very easily. I might even have to like put a second one beside it next year. I have some zinnias coming up, some dahlias. You can't really see them right now. This was coreopsis and stuff that's going out of bloom. I need to come deadhead. Some things aren't perfect. I'm definitely not going to have a perfect garden. I have a 1-year-old, so I do what I can. We have a little Persian lime, which actually does have a lime on it right now. Oh, no. Something got it. So we keep having blooms, and I keep seeing limes on here, and I get excited. And this one that just fell off was actually pretty big. And I think either the birds are eating it, we have lots of birds, or something. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. We may never get a lime because they like it too much. Back here in this little shady part of the garden, we have more pumpkin plants. We have a buddleia, we have salvia, we have hollyhock seedlings and foxglove seedlings coming up. Now those seedlings won't bloom this year because they're biennial, so I'm just hoping for next year a bigger show. And then growing up my birdhouse little stake, I have some creeping Virginia vine. Kind of looks like poison oak, but it's not. And it can be invasive. I don't think it's invasive here, but I'm gonna keep it trimmed to just that little pole, so we'll be fine. I don't have it growing up anything else. Some caladiums, just annuals to add a little color back in the shady area. And then this coralberry, I want to get more of these. I like the foliage, I like the shape, and it's doubled in size since I put it in, and it makes coral berries that the native birds here just absolutely love. So it's great for wildlife, and maybe they'll leave my limes alone if I plant more of these. So these are looking a little scrubby. I'm not sure why. I might trim them a little bit. These are shrubby podocarpus. They're not native or anything. I planted them here to hopefully get us a little bit more privacy, cover up some of the fence. I just want to not see as much of the fence as I can, so eventually I'll plant even more taller stuff. This salvia, I have the name stake here, but I think I lost it, but I love it. It's also doubled in size since we put it here, and I just love the blooms on it. I think they're so cute, and it's actually lost a lot of blooms because we had rain, but in a couple days it'll be full this bright red color. But I don't even mind it when they fall off. I just love it. I love the shape of it and the growth habit. Back here we have some Japanese Aralia, foxtail fern. That's an azalea, which actually bloomed right before our Christmas freeze. So we got a weird winter bloom from it. A hosta that I planted last year that came back, so I'm very happy about that, and I'm gonna get more now and put them in my shade garden. And then we have, these are all cosmos. I threw out a packet of seeds and they have just gone wild. I'm ready for some blooms, so hopefully any day now I'll start to get blooms because they are nice and big and healthy. I have an olive tree. I can't remember the variety. It gets about 15 feet tall, which I think is good for our small backyard. Give us a little extra height and shape, and I love olive trees. So, and then this right here is a Francis Myland rose. I actually bought this from Grace Rose Farms. She's pretty popular on Instagram. She has an amazing rose farm in California. She sells bouquets of rose, but she also sells some of her plants. And this was a once in a lifetime estate plant because she was moving farms and she didn't have enough room for all of them. I did not know this was such a big deal. So I just luckily got on her website at the right time one day and bought this plant, and people on her Facebook group were freaking out about it being sold out. So I got really lucky, and now I know how special it is because as a bare root, I don't know if you can see these, it was just a huge massive plant. Bare roots are not usually that big. If you buy them from most box stores, they are like little twigs. So this is a big deal, and she said give it room because it could get 6 to 8 feet tall. So I'm so excited, and it's gonna have creamy pinkish blooms that have a very good fragrance, and we get a lot of wind here, so I'm hoping it'll just fill up the yard with a great yummy fragrance. We'll try to wrap this up, sorry. This is a popcorn cassia plant. I think it looks so cool. It's a butterfly host plant in this area, and we actually have a wild one growing over there that I did not plant. So, and they smell like popcorn apparently, and actually I have not smelled them since they bloomed, so let me see. They do smell like buttery popcorn a little bit, but they're not as fragrant as I thought, so that's really cool. I don't remember the name of this. I have a lot of things that I picked up at Buchanan's Nursery in Houston. If you're from Houston, you'll know that name. And Arbor Gate. Whatever they told me would go good in certain areas, I kind of listened and bought it. This is a kind of lavender. I wish I knew the names. I'll try to put it in the description, anything, if there's any questions about certain plants, but this lavender has done great. We're very wet here. Our soil is clay, so lavender usually doesn't grow well. This hasn't bloomed, but I love the foliage, the silvery foliage. So pretty, and so I went and got another one. And we'll see how it does if it starts blooming, but it's doing great right now where it's at. And then this is Sweet Alyssum I grew from seed, and I just absolutely love it. It's just an annual. I'm gonna go next year and get more, and I'm probably just gonna throw it throughout the beds because it's so pretty. Okay, so, we have one more little bed. Try to wrap this up. This is just an annual, like my annual tropical bed. And I wish my hibiscus was blooming. It was blooming yesterday for my son's birthday party, and it was so pretty. It's the most pretty apricot color. So we have Mandevilla, or Mandevilla, if you're American and you don't know how to pronounce things. And then hibiscus. This is Super Bells from Proven Winners. I got 2 different kinds. I thought these were so cute. I love the colors. Some coleus. And then I think the yellow ones at the end are also Super Bells. And then I put some zinnias in there that I'd started from seed just to add in the back. So yeah, I did that bed a couple days ago. I need to mulch it just to add a little extra color in the yard. And that is my yard. I'll be filming probably bi-weekly updates of the yard, or maybe monthly. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, 1-year-old. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about plants or nurseries in the West Houston area, let me know. And if you have any advice for me, if you think something's not looking great, or if I could add a plant that would look good here, let me know as well. I'm open to ideas. But thanks, guys.